Check it out guys. Right behind me I have my AWE exhaust for the new G20. I cannot explain how excited I am. I've been wanting to put exhaust on this G20 and actually get to hear it, and today we're gonna finally be doing that with AWE's track exhaust. I'm so excited. I went with the loudest one AWE has to offer for my G20. So let's get it guys. Gonna unbox the box right now. Let's get to it. So right here in this AWE box, I have everything that I need to put the exhaust on my G20. I haven't taken a look at the exhaust at all. Was waiting for this video. I've only seen pictures online. So let's get to it. Open this box right away. So as you guys just saw, I opened up the AWE exhaust and take a look of how sick this exhaust is looking like. Got the AWE branding with the track edition, the serial number, performance unlocked. Let's go. This is looking so sick. Oh yeah, and it's light too. This is very, very light. I mean, I'm probably gonna be saving some weight from replacing the OEM exhaust with this new track exhaust. Let's go ahead and open up this other box. Oh, let's go. The AWE exhaust tips looking so nice with a little blow pop. You guys are so kind, for real. And what's in here? Just some other brackets and other stuff. Right on, right on. Everything is looking so good, guys. I am so hyped to get this on the G20. Right now I'm gonna throw in a little B-roll so we can get a closer look of how the exhaust is looking. So enjoy this, but then we're gonna jump right into installing the exhaust on the G20. Check it out. As you guys just saw, I put both of my car ramps back on the G20 onto them. This is actually my first time using car ramps, and I went ahead and put some jack stands right here just in case, and also to give me a little bit more space. I need to go about midway towards the end of the exhaust. That's where I'm going to be cutting. And check this out, guys. If anyone are watching right now, you can literally do this at home just like I am, and all you need is literally a couple tools, and one of them is this right here. This is like a pipe cutter. We are going to be cutting my exhaust, and this is like a simple $20 tool off of Amazon. You can only get like about 2 uses out of it, but we're only going to use it once. So we're going to crawl underneath the car. There's actually a dimple that BMW puts. That's going to be our cut point, which is very convenient because I'm not going to have to like measure out where I need to do this cut. It already has a dimple in the exhaust. You need one of these, and then you also need one of these to get the exhaust hangers off, and this is another maybe like $10 tool off of Amazon. I'm really glad I bought this because this is going to make it a whole lot easier to get those exhaust hangers off. All you need is a couple sockets. So literally, guys, like I said, you can install this AWE exhaust for yourself too. And I know I keep saying it, but I am so excited to get this AWE exhaust installed onto the G20 and do our first start and hear how much of a difference the AWE track exhaust sounds. I'm so excited to get rid of the OEM exhaust because this isn't cutting it, guys. AWE is about to transform the sound of the G20. Let's go ahead and go underneath it and see what we're working with. So as we scoot underneath the exhaust, this is the dimple I'm literally talking about, guys. BMW makes it super convenient. That's going to be our cut point, and AWE makes their exhaust so that it perfectly fits with the G20 when you just make a cut right here. That's the only cut we're going to be making, and probably one of the most difficult things a part of this exhaust install. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's start cutting. I don't know how long it's going to take, but from the install videos I've seen online, it should only take maybe like 5 to 10 minutes to get that cut. If I use using an electric cutter, an electric grinder, whatever, I'm sure I could get it a lot done faster, but this is just for like if you don't have any of those tools. So if you want to get this done for yourself, go ahead and check the Amazon and get one of these cutters for yourself. I'm not too sure how it looks me filming underneath there, but let's get to it, guys. So it's gonna be a little hard for me filming under here because of the angle and just the little room we have, but we went ahead and got the exhaust pipe cutter on, and it's pretty much wrapped around the whole pipe. You do have to extend like the arms out for it to actually reach onto the link, but yeah, I just had to learn that as I was going. This is my first time using one of these, and pretty much, guys, is I'm going to use this handle and then move it back and forth, and then these right here have little cutters on them, and it's pretty much going to cut the whole pipe all the way around, and we'll easily get this exhaust off. And the next step after that is just to get the exhaust hangers off. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this exhaust cut, and I will show you guys the after of it. It's just gonna be hard for me to film it under here, but let's get it. So check it, I'm underneath the car now with a pillow. This was definitely helping me, but I've spent maybe about 10 to 15 minutes so far, and we finally cut through the exhaust. I've been using like my flashlight and zoom just to make sure that the cut went through, and now when I'm going back and forth, this thing like barely wants to move at all. And here's a little hack, guys. If you get some zip ties, you pull as hard as you can and then zip tie it. You don't have to use so much of your finger strength. And I'm also wearing sunglasses right now, so I don't get any of the exhaust little like shrapnel parts or whatever in my eye. So just eye protection, just trying to be safe with this. But yeah, this was up on a lift. You could probably get this done in maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 5 minutes even. But yeah, definitely doable. Like I said, 10 to 15 minutes, cut through the exhaust. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these zip ties off right now. We can take off this exhaust tool, and as you guys can see, it did a perfect cut all the way around. And now we can finally move on to the next step. We can begin to take off our exhaust hangers. There's one right here, there's one over here I believe, and then there's another one over here. Nothing too crazy, just have to get the exhaust hangers off. I'm going to use a 13mm socket to get them off. I'm going to use my drill so I can get these off a lot faster to speed up the process and get this AWE on the G20 and finally hear it. Let's go, guys. I'm so excited. A little bit tired too, but let's get it. Before I forget, I need to unplug my valve actuator. Not all cars are going to have it, but when I go into sport mode, it opens up the exhaust, and then when it's in comfort, it closes. So I need to unplug this little clip right here. Should be able to. Oh, I have to get my, oh, there we go. Just like that, I unplugged it, and I'm actually going to be tucking this in underneath the heat shield right here so that no codes will be popping up on my screen or anything. So AWE actually made something for the exhaust so that this can still be plugged in and no air lights will pop up on my dash. But yeah, this was super easy. The hardest part, like I said, guys, was getting this exhaust cut. Now that we got the valve actuator unplugged, I can now go ahead and get off these exhaust brackets. And there's a 13mm right here. Oh, I'm gonna have to break it loose with something else. It's funny because right when I put the camera down, I went ahead and gave another try with the drill, and it broke loose right away. So first exhaust hanger is completely off, and now I'm gonna go ahead and do the one that's over here, as you guys can see. And then there's another one right above there. These ones are really easy to get to, so let's move on to those. I had to use my socket wrench because my other socket wasn't working with the bolt that's sticking out. So alright, so check it out. Once I took off that last exhaust bracket like I was showing you guys, I went ahead onto this side, and I couldn't really film it because I didn't want the exhaust to drop on me. But what I went ahead and did is put a jack right there, and my drill over here is holding it from the front of the exhaust, and in the rear got the jack supporting it. I just took off this last exhaust hanger bracket, last bolt right there, and now it is literally just resting on my jack stand and my drill. So finally we got the old OEM exhaust out of here, and let me tell you guys, this exhaust is definitely going to save me some weight and benefit me reducing some of the weight of this exhaust, because this thing weighs a ton. Like, just look how big this muffler is. And you guys saw the exhaust piping for the new AWE track exhaust. Definitely gonna save some weight, but oh my gosh, I'm so happy that we finally got the OEM exhaust out of here, so we can finally get started to installing the new AWE exhaust. So I was talking about this valve actuator before, and we're gonna actually transfer this old valve actuator to a new bracket that AWE designs, but I need to take off these 3 or 4 bolts to get this old one off. And this pretty much just opens and closes the exhaust when it's in different modes. Because when it's in sport mode, it opens up the exhaust more and you can get a better tone to it. But I'm gonna go transfer this to it. You guys can see in this little bag right here, AWE actually makes a bracket to put the old valve actuator on, and we can tuck it behind the heat shield so that no coating will come on. So that pin that I was showing you guys earlier, we're gonna go ahead and insert it actually right here. It makes it pretty easy for you to see. See that right there? That's gonna go on the pin, and then you have to twist this a little bit. And this is just pretty much so that it keeps your car pretty much happy and that it doesn't start throwing any check engine lights or anything like that. But AWE does guarantee that no check engine lights will come on your car when you install one of their exhausts, which is really good. It's pretty awesome that they do that, because who wants to install an exhaust and then get a check engine light right away on their car? So it's pretty awesome that they build these. So just like that, got all 3 tightened down, little AWE logo, and right now you can see that little metal pin is right there. So yeah, pretty easy. Now we can install this back onto the new AWE exhaust and go ahead and get started to this, guys. I'm excited. Let's get it back underneath the car. And now we need to remove this heat shield, because I'm going to tuck this valve actuator wire into this little slot right here. We're actually going to be hiding it behind the heat shield with some zip ties. So I'm going to go ahead and take off all the bolts to get this off, which should be pretty easy. So let's get to it. A little bit difficult while being under the car and trying to film all this, but what I pretty much did was tuck the valve actuator behind right here and use both of the zip ties AWE provides in their little kit. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut these pieces off right now. And if we should be able to just put on the shield and we'll be good to go. Just gonna trim these off a little better, just like that. Twist it a little. I don't want it to be interfering with the heat shield at all, but check that out, guys. That is not going to be rattling. That is on there, really secured. So exhaust hanger on. Last exhaust hanger is now off. We can install our exhaust coupler. Go ahead and put it on mid pipe right here. Go ahead, slide it there, that bracket. So check it, just got the exhaust bracket loosely tightened right there. This I can still wiggle around. So you need to remove this plastic shield as well, because as you can see, it is touching this plastic shield right here. And if I don't remove this plastic shield, it is definitely gonna burn the plastic shield. So I just take off these little bolts right underneath here, right over here, and I'm never gonna have to use this piece again. Look at how much more room we have. Nothing is touching. We have a little more wiggle room as well, so that we can get these exhaust pipes straightened and exactly sitting how I want them to be, because you can make them longer, sticking out, shorter, and we're just gonna mess around and see what we end up with. So now what we're gonna do is prep the track muffler and take one of my clamps and go ahead and get it on there just like that. Just pretty loosely. I'm not gonna tighten anything down, and then I'm gonna grab both of my exhaust hangers, and the metal hanger is gonna be sticking towards the outside of the exhaust, not inwards. So should be lined up right just like that. Grab my other one, and it should just slide on just like that. So now we can go ahead and go back underneath the G20 and go ahead and get this lined up. The brackets tucked underneath again. I'm gonna use my jack stick to help hold it. Quick little update, we got both the exhaust hangers hand tightened. That one right there, and on the passenger side, we got that one hand tightened. I still want to have some room to move things around, so once everything's aligned correctly, then we will tighten them down. But now, we just need to go ahead and get these pipes, and I already put the bracket around it, and we're gonna go ahead. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna start with the driver's side. Oh my goodness guys, the time has finally come. We have the exhaust now on the G20. As you guys can see, the exhaust tips sticking out a little bit. I didn't go too aggressive with the exhaust tips. I'm gonna show you guys right now, but I bolted down everything and we're ready for a cold start. And before I get them off the car ramps, take a look of how the exhaust is sitting, guys. These tips literally fill in my diffuser like perfect. There's like a slight little gap so it's not touching anything on my rear diffuser, and it looks so great. Here, let me stand back a little bit. And we're of course gonna go get tons of clips of this AWE exhaust now installed in the G20, but this is how it's looking, guys. And take a look from underneath. I got everything tightened down. The exhaust tips, those right there, and even all the way in the mid pipe. I tighten that down as much as I can, and that goes with all the bolts because I do not want to run into any issues, but I do not think I will, because guys, I really took my time with this and just really wanted to get it perfect. I am so happy with how it turned out. It only took a little while to get this exhaust on. It wasn't too crazy of a process, just maybe the cutting of the pipe was a little bit difficult, but hey, if I can do it, you guys can definitely do it. But enough of me talking, let's go ahead and get a cold start, and then we're gonna go get some driving clips of inside the car and outside the car, and we're gonna compare it, because obviously guys, when I had just the stock exhaust on, it was quiet, like very quiet. You could barely hear anything. So now we got the exhaust on, AWE track exhaust. I'm hyped, guys. Let's get it, let's go. The time has finally come, guys. We're gonna hear how the AWE track exhaust sounds on the new G20. I already heard what it sounds like, just a little bit of me driving to get to this location, and guys, it sounds so sick. What's that? Oh, I appreciate that.
That second one, though, it felt like you held back.
I just put this exhaust on and I'm just trying to film it and like hear how it sounds, you know? And I didn't want to go too fast down this road. I didn't want to upset anyone, you know, so.
No, actually, a lot of people come drag racing down this street.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Normally you get 5 or 6 good passes.
Yeah. So you guys be hearing it and seeing it?
Oh, hell yeah, we stand back and watch.
Oh, that's awesome. I would too. Heck yeah, well, hey, I appreciate it.
Right on, man, be safe.
Hey, you too, thank you. Well, there you guys have it. Even the person that was working over here heard me doing the passes and said, hey man, it sounds great, but I think you held out on the second pass. The first pass sounded great, but I think you let off the throttle too soon on the second. And I was like, hey man, I'm just not trying to make anyone upset down here. I'm just trying to get some clips of the new AWE exhaust. And let me just tell you guys, it is loud. AWE makes all different types of exhaust for all different types of cars, BMW, Audi, Volkswagen. You guys got to check it out for yourself. I'm going to be leaving the link to the website in the description below, guys. Go check out AWE for you guys yourself. They also have instruction manuals on their website. So if you guys need help installing an AWE exhaust for your certain type of model car, they will most likely have instructions to how to install it, guys. But I am so excited with my new AWE exhaust, and it's sounding exactly how I want this car to sound. I couldn't be happier. But you guys know how it is. More videos, more mods coming on the way. Make sure you're subscribed to stay tuned with your boy Steezy. But you guys know what it is. We out here. Peace. And if you guys want to know how it sounds like in the inside cabin, guys, AWE for the win. This exhaust is so sick.